It's an hour-long program, but we're going to just play a few minutes of it here and analyze it and break it down. I'll be stopping the video throughout it, but we've got Meltzer coming on tomorrow, and I'll ask him some pointed questions then when he comes back on with us. Obviously, if I'm too mean to him, he won't come on the show and be grilled. He's a nice enough fellow on the surface. I don't buy his interview last week where he said, oh, he was doing Masonic signs for USA Today and didn't know they were. And his wife said, oh, don't you know that? And, oh, he's in with George Herbert Walker Bush, and he's part of the inner circle, but he didn't know what that means. And ha, ha, ha. But look, what do you expect them to put on national TV? It caused a huge response to people going online to find out about my infiltration and to see the real video of the ritual that the old men take very seriously. And the biggest thing Meltzer did was keep saying it was illegal what Alex Jones did. So that's a way to assassinate my character. When I did that 11 years ago, almost 11 years ago, July of 2000, so 10 and a half years ago, when I did that, they didn't charge me. They didn't press charges. They didn't come after me because I looked at the law and I was ready to go to court and defend myself. You got presidents, vice presidents, CIA directors in there bragging in annals they've released to several Berkeley and other universities in California in the last 50 years where they created the Manhattan Project. They created the Star Wars Project. They launched it. They conceived it and decided to get funding for it. That they set policy there. It violates the Logan Act. It's federal law, and that's why they can't prosecute people that try to sneak into Bilderberg, because the press has a right to know what's going on. They got a right to go in there and get drunk, and I guess it's illegal to bring in the gay porn stars that the New York Post and others and Vanity Fair report they bring in to have sex with. But the point is, the public has a right to know what's going on. And I went in for 5 hours. I hid out. I was told on July 15th the ritual would be done, one of many. I caught it on tape, got it out to the world. Okay? And they said they were going to use it, but then their lawyers last minute said they couldn't. And then Meltzer repeats over and over again, what Alex did was illegal. What Alex did was illegal, and now claims there's some new law in California about hidden video. Well, that's in someone's private place. This has government involved, setting policy, and it should be public. And that law didn't exist 10 and a half years ago. Okay, so it's not retroactive. And I had arguments with him about that. Then he goes on and lets me talk a little bit about the ritual and says, and that's it. That's all that happens in the ritual. No, I explained they took it deadly serious when it was going on. It wasn't just theatrical. And, of course, theater comes from ancient religions. They did it on a stage. You go to a Baptist church, it's theater. You know, they're up there on a stage, and it's all done in that style, and you're watching. And so there's so many points to this, but then there's the groveling, and oh, how great the Grove is, and it's a great club. Now, it's pretty much 50-50. They show both sides, which I guess is journalistic in their view. But they do other character assassination things in there that maybe make it 60-40 on the side of the Grove, and they do talk to 4 different experts. I'm one of them, and they all agree what's wrong is that they're setting policy in secret. And Meltzer at the end says he thinks what's going on there is wrong at a certain level. So there's some redeeming qualities to it, and the fact is I think overall it's positive that it's on TV. Why is it on TV now, though? Because of the internet and alternative media, we're forcing mainline dinosaur old media to cover things if they're going to stay relevant. So we're forcing them to have to even do these whitewashes. They'd rather not in the last 10 and a half years cover it, and they haven't. So it shows that times are a-changing. Let's go ahead and play a few minutes of the program towards the middle. The whole thing's online at the History Channel for free if you want to go watch it. We also link to it at Infowars.com. But here's part of it. We'll be stopping it throughout when I make comments.
To my knowledge, only one man has ever snuck into the Grove during their July event. In the year 2000, Alex Jones actually managed to covertly record the cremation of care ceremony. And while I want to hear how he interprets what he saw there, what I'm really hoping is he'll tell Buddy, Mac, and Scott how he got inside.
Other members of the press have gotten in, but they've always been arrested and had their film confiscated. And in July of 2000, I snuck in and shot some hidden video, the only video to ever get out of the Grove.
How did you manage to sneak in?
I basically came to the main gate and crawled down through the swamp and then went up and got into the main parking area where they have these big open backed trucks that come in and take the members in. And I basically just climbed on to the truck with some other members, had a conversation with them, and then they stopped us at an internal checkpoint, and some security people climbed on asking us what group we were with, and I knew enough about some of the club's names inside to tell them I was part of the Hillbillies, which is the Texas delegation, the Bushes and their friends.
And your accent worked.
And yeah, I gotta say, you kind of look the part.
So Alex Jones actually sneaks into Bohemian Grove with a video camera, and he shoots the footage of what he saw. Legally, we're not allowed to show it to you because he broke the law in obtaining it, but I've seen it, and it is pretty compelling stuff.
Applause. Wow, judge, jury, and executioner Brad Meltzer is now, we don't even need courts in this country or juries. He just, I broke the law, I'm a criminal. Just absolutely, really. Nobody charged me, nobody sued me, knock on wood, nobody came after me. Why? Because I'm not stupid, I went and looked at the law. I went and looked at the law, and I studied it, and I believed it was about 80-20, 80% on my side. I believed I could defend myself to a jury of peers. And the Grove isn't stupid. This is where the elite are meeting. They know that as well. So let's continue.
Did you ever think you were going to get found out, Alex, while you were in there?
Oh, the whole time. And I basically just sat behind a building on the grass for the next 2.5 hours or so. And then as it got dark, I then went out to witness the cremation of care ritual.
I'm wondering why you wanted to get in there in the first place.
Well, I had begun to research Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones at Yale. Bohemian Grove is where they all get together.
People love blaming things on Skull and Bones. The rumors run rampant about the legendary secret Yale fraternity.
All right, let's stop there.
They've been accused of stealing.
They've been accused of stealing Geronimo's bones. No, in federal court cases, it's admitted they have it, but the courts ruled they can keep it. They went and grave robbed. It's admitted. And then I have the annals of the Bohemian Grove. I have been sent one of them by a widow, and we're able to purchase 2 more of them. They come out every 10 years. They're only given to members. And I've been able to get a hold of them. They sell, in some cases, for thousands of dollars a piece. And so I know what they say about it. And the nomenclature, the words they use, the president, who was the first person who was a president to go there, he was a founder of Skull and Bones. His father was a founder. All of them were involved. And the big political group that went and took it over around 1900, been around since 1872, was all Skull and Bones. And Helmut Schmidt, in his book, talks about it basically being a Skull and Bones version. And back in the 1880s, one of the other fraternities snuck into Skull and Bones, and there on the wall was a plaque from the Bavarian Illuminati saying, "You are our second chapter in the New World." 1 chapter in Germany, 1 chapter in New Haven, Connecticut. So, I mean, just incredible to say. Everybody likes to blame things on Skull and Bones, like I'm blaming things, and then gives no proof of how I'm wrongly blaming it. Then he says, now, when you're interpreting a ritual, as an outsider, you don't know how to interpret it. I went to mainline professors of religion. I went to Christian professors. I did research. We know what they're doing there. We understand. It's not like we're idiots on the outside and don't know. We have their annals. Let's continue.
The bones of Geronimo, Pancho Villa, and even our 8th president, Martin Van Buren. But none of that has ever been proven. The club taps members of the Yale junior class to join its ranks, and past members have included William F. Buckley, John Kerry, both Presidents Bush, and of course, the late President William Howard Taft.
And it was William Howard Taft, the president, who came here to the Bohemian Grove, who, of course, was the high-level Skull and Bones member, who first began to talk about a world government, a League of Nations, which was then picked up a few years later by Woodrow Wilson. And so this whole system is their plan for a world government, and it is based on a Germanic death cult. And you've got all these world leaders and all these powerful people together before they have the ritual beneath these giant redwoods in this huge Hall of the Mountain King is what it's like. It's scary.
You're talking about a new world order. You're talking about a big conspiracy about these people getting together and talking about stuff that's going to basically bring us all down, and we're still here.
I know the direction these guys are taking. Back it up a few seconds. Oh, there's this big world government, this big conspiracy, but we're all still here, implying I'm making all this up. We're losing our liberties. We're in illegal wars. They're getting rid of the Bill of Rights and Constitution. They're putting fluoride in the water. They got telescreens up telling us spy on our neighbors. The government's openly calling for internet kill switches and the fairness doctrine to end talk radio as we know it. No, we're going into the world government. They've been building the empire and profiting from it. It's like somebody saying, I can't believe something could last for generations. Really, that's what true power does, is try to transcend their own deaths and pass it on. I mean, how do you have 1,000-year-old universities in Europe? People who founded it have been dead for hundreds and hundreds of years because it's an institution that people get power in, and then they pass that power on and grow the power of that institution. So just amazing. Let's continue. Is what it's like. It's scary.
You're talking about a new world order. You're talking about a big conspiracy about these people getting together and talking about stuff that's going to basically bring us all down, and we're still here.
I know the direction these guys are taking us in is undemocratic. You've got all these CIA directors, attorney generals, vice presidents, presidents.
Going to the Grove.
You have the former German chancellor, Helmut Schmidt. He says, we have our own druidic groves in Germany. But my favorite place to go, and he calls it druidic, is Northern California.
Groves have held a sacred place in the lore of Druids for centuries. This mysterious order of Celtic priests have performed both human and animal sacrifice in their groves in ancient England. And
we're going to go to break, but they don't even deny that. Okay, see? And they're doing a mock human sacrifice. This is a mixture of Germanic death cult stuff, Jewish mysticism, a whole bunch of other.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Gun sales are on a staggering pace. Gun prices are going through the roof, and that means desperate, vicious criminals now want your guns and will do anything to get them. Now, a new book reveals powerful secrets for hiding your guns from thieves and looters. You'll learn step-by-step, battle-hardened techniques, where to hide your guns so criminals will never find them, how to create the perfect hiding place, as well as the places you should never hide your guns, under any circumstance. These and other closely guarded gun caching secrets are guaranteed to keep your weapons safe and out of sight when the going gets tough. But listen up. For security reasons, the Hide Your Guns book and even the website may disappear without warning at any time. Go to hideyourguns.com. That's hideyourguns.com. Or call 877-327-0365 before they come for your guns. Hideyourguns.com right now. Right now.
Are you wondering about your retirement portfolio? Are you confident that the financial advisor is experienced enough to combat climbing interest rates, taxes, and inflation? Stop guessing and go to the expert, Robert Chapman of the International Forecaster. When you subscribe to the International Forecaster, you get Robert Chapman's 45 years of experience and concise investment recommendations. Who needs sugar-coated excuses when you can get the cold hard facts and proven investment leads you can't get anywhere else? For a free introductory copy to Robert Chapman's International Forecaster, subscribe now at theinterntionalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. Experience the difference. When you subscribe, you can email Robert Chapman directly to obtain investment advice tailored just for you. Don't wait another minute. Subscribe today at theinterntionalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including